Hey everyone, no one left behind here, and we're coming back to Euran. And the first thing I'm going to say to you is look at this list right here. These are some items you'll pick up from enemies you'll need later along for side quests. We're going to be heading into the Shadow Wall Mountains, and there's going to be a lot of items in this area, and I'm not going to cover them all. I'm just going to put up this list. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do and pretty much nothing else. When you enter to the south, there are some treasures down there. But so, okay, the first thing we do is we come up here to the Shadow Wall Mountains, and we talk to Selena. She's this enchantress mage, and she's, looking for an artifact. And the first thing she tells you is like, her assistant's gone missing, but or he vanished, or he went off on assignment. But she's looking for these text fragments to decipher what this artifact's supposed to do. So we're going to run around here real quick. There's 3 of them. They're in separate locations. You have to fight a couple enemies. So we'll go up here to the northeast, pick up one, and then head back down and find the other 2. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about how the video format for this series and how it's going to change a little bit. This is kind of a work in progress. I don't really have felt out exactly how I wanted to do it. So that's why I changed the items. There was just too much editing and too much motion tracking to put every item in for every little area. And this video footage for the second part of Euran was 40 hours long. Oh yeah, here, check it out. That rainbow metal is kind of difficult to find, so make sure you pick it up. But like I was saying, there's so much footage. I narrowed it down to just an hour after taking out the boss battles, the pause time, the wandering around. I tried to be really complete because I knew that I was going to write walkthroughs, but I didn't have a plan. I didn't know enough about the game because I just picked it up. This is my first time through. I wanted to get it up before everybody else had, and it looks like even then I was still a little late. So I've been taking my time and trying to get this one absolutely the best I can. Alright, so we get these text fragments, and we return them to Selena, and then she's going to send us off to look for her assistant. And he's up here to the northeast in this abandoned house. Is where he'd been sent to look for the artifact. And a path has been blocked to get there up until this point, and this guy's going to have a Degar. He's going to have a little text dialogue for you. He's basically just going to send you back to Selena, and Selena's going to give you magic dust to get past that rock that's blocking her path. So, fast track it real quick, talk to her. I've been saying Selena, I meant Serena Williams, but she's white. Okay, so come back over here, talk to him again, and then you can use the powder. I actually think you could probably use the powder on it anyways, but just talk to him. He's got the exclamation point, just better safe than sorry. Run through him. I don't know what happened to the footage. I can't direct you right into it. It's the little hatch that is directly behind that guy, and you'll be able to walk right in. This level, I'm going to say that I didn't explore this dungeon as well as I should have when I first played through, so I didn't record it. So there's a lot more treasures in this dungeon than what I just showed you. So feel free to explore around and try and pick up a couple other things. I'm sure I'm going to have to come back here because there's probably a rainbow medal that I missed in the process. Okay, so we'll come up here. There's some items on this bookshelf back there. And it's pretty straightforward. We're going to find this curious dust in that treasure chest right there. And then we're going to talk to Serena's assistant, Eldon. Oh, and he's like, hey, in that chest, there's the artifact. So he says that, I think Nemoris took the artifact and just ran away with it. So we're going to open that switch and we'll go back out to the main entrance. And we're going to go track down Nemoris real quick. I'm not going to let him get away with that artifact. It's apparently what we need to get home. So talk to him. He's gonna be like, yeah, he ran north. Hurry up and follow him. So directly north from that position, head up the coast, and you're gonna talk to this guy. And he's gonna be like, oh yeah, that dude. I think I saw him. He went down west. You go talk to my other buddy. So I run down here, keep following the coast, and there's another explanation from some random person. This will be the only time in the game you talk to him. He's like, yeah, I saw. He just took this raft and he just went over this little island. And it's funny too, because you unlock the ability to get the raft on this side of the island before you couldn't access it. See, it's blocked right there. Yet you get in here to this dungeon, and you have to talk to this girl just so you can get the key to get in this dungeon. But the dungeon was blocked, anyways, because you had to get the raft and you didn't have access to the raft. Anyways, okay, so there's just a lot of jumping around in here. There's tons of treasures, but most of this dungeon is just irrelevant. There's no point to explore it other than to get items and money and build up your level, because you're gonna have to build up your level. Like, we're already level 21, and man, if you guys are playing on hard, I mean, I feel for you. There is just tons of level farming you're gonna have to do in the process of this. There's a little secret treasure down there, and I'm taking my sweet time, looking for every little cranny. That's how I do it. That's a good example of how I went through all these stages, and that might give you an example of why it's taking me so long to get this up and all the video editing, because I tried to get rid of all that nonsense. It's kind of boring to sit there and watch somebody check every corner and every room of every dungeon, so I felt that was really unnecessary. Let's go over here with some random switch that didn't help me find my objective. That room up there, there's some text. I didn't bother to figure it out. I'm sure there's more to it, and it looks like there's a couple extra side quest puzzles in here. But we get in this room, and we're gonna keep traveling through these portals. It's literally just a bunch of portal hopping. I don't think there's any switches that are mandatory that you pull to get to your objective. And this will be the last little bit. After you go through this portal right here, we're going to go to the right, we're going to go north, northeast, and this last portal will put us in a room with a bunch of treasures and an enemy and another portal, a couple more portals, hooray. And this, okay, so now we're in rooms with just more portals, and it'll take us around this little compass or clock style. Yeah, I don't understand why there's so many freaking portals. Okay, so we'll find Nemoris after going through all these things, and he's like, dude, I'm stuck here too. Like, I don't know what happened, but I need these artifacts to get back. So we find out that both Nemoris and yourself, your main character, are both looking for the same artifacts. So you beat him, you fight him, he's going to give you the Found Twilight Gem, you're going to get a trophy. Hooray, it adds one more little tick to the levels. Leave the dungeon, make sure you get all the other stuff there. Come down, we're going to talk to Serena again. And I believe at this point, yes, this is the last little bit. You talk to Serena, and she's going to join your party. So at this point, you now have 4 people in your party. And that means that you can switch people in and out. You don't have to use certain people. And what I did, I mean, at this point, all your party members are physical. So she's a magic type. I figure I'll switch with her. I switched out the archer for Serena. Okay, so after you talk to her, and after you beat Nemoris, you come back here and talk to Tandreas. He's got the next lead for where the next artifact will be. And he's going to tell you about it. And he's going to tell you to talk to his assistant again. He's like, I don't take care of any of the hard lifting. I make my assistant do everything. Assistant's going to give you this axe or saw to get past this tree. So you're going to head back to Hopper Forest, where we picked up who I now call Iron Fist, but Dozaru. So we're going to head it this way, and it's like we're heading down to Castle Temwall, but instead of going left there, we're going to take a right. And from this position, we're going to head south and then southeast, and we're going to find this tree that's been blocking our way. If you did some exploring during the last video and in between this part, you'll know what I'm talking about. So come down here. I skip past all these guys at this point. They're just chump change. They're not adding to experience. So use the salt and then go past, and now we're in the Dead Lake Desert. And south of the entrance, you're going to find this town called Tafar. And I didn't record getting there. It's pretty easy to find. It's almost right next to the entrance. You come down here in Tafar, and there's actually some items hidden around in town. But come and talk to their mayor right here. And there's this really long and drawn out story about what's happening to these people. Essentially, some guy came into town, and he's been terrorizing the people because he has control of monsters, and they have to feed them random food. It's really odd. I can't quite explain it. Like, I gotta get some honey cakes to feed to these monsters so they don't destroy our town. But like, they're all around our town anyways. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. So we have to get the ingredients to get these honey cakes because they haven't been able to make them because I guess some monsters had destroyed whatever they were using to produce it. Okay, so come down here. She's going to tell you a little bit more, and it's a little bit just running around back and forth. You say, I don't. She's going to be like, we're out. Oh, she has no honey. We got to have something to replace it. And they're going to send you on a quest to get all the ingredients for these freaking cakes. And Zoloris, that's the guy's name. That's the guy that's terrorizing the town. So he's going to tell you that she needs these ingredients, and you're going to get some syrup. You're going to get 3 roots, which are found around the desert. They're in specific locations I'm about to show you. And we have to get cactus blossoms, and you get them from fighting these scorpion enemies. So you're going to have to do a lot of enemy fights, and that fits right in scheme with doing some level farming, so that's no big deal. And we're going to head up north, and we're going to start taking out these scorpions. Oh, I am going to point out real quick, I know there's some other stuff around here, and there's tons of treasures in this area, but right here there's another rainbow medal. I feel like I should point those out, because they really do help you later down the road. Alright, but here's these sand roots, or desert root. Yeah, so we're going to look for these little signposts, and there's 3 of them hidden around the desert, and you're going to inevitably have to fight the scorpions to get these cactus blossoms. And you picked up the syrup from the chick who was making the honey cakes before, which I don't know why you're not giving it back to her since she's the one who's going to have to make it, but anyways. Okay, so there's 2 down, and there's 1 more just a little further to the northeast. Oh, and there's this little town section over here. I think this little town section has everything you need except for a weapon and armor shop, but these are down here in Tafar. So we're going to get all these items, and once we collected all our items, we're going to come back and we're going to talk to this lady, Ouija. Do you know how to say her name? Because if you know how to say her name, please tell me. I have no idea. Ouija. Your guess is as good as mine. So after you talk to her and you deliver all the items, you'll come back over and talk to the mayor, and he's going to give you the honey cake. So once we get the honey cake, we're going to have to go confront Zoloris. So there's the cactus cake. And head south, and you'll be able to rent a raft, which are getting 34C. That's quite a bit of little money right there. I wonder if the price difference is anything. If you take a quick stop right there, there's a few $100. Always trying to collect money. If you're ever short on money, sell those items that are sitting in your inventory pickup from all the enemies you beat. And here's Zoloris on this lonely little island with a few monsters. You're gonna give him the cactus cake. And he's like, what? I hate cactus cake. If they don't send honey cakes ASAP, I'm gonna trip out. Well, you know what? After all the trouble I just went through, I don't really give a crap about him and his honey cakes. I think no, he didn't. No, you don't have to fight him here. You have to fight him here in a little bit. It's next time you see him, you have to fight him. So head back up here to Tafar. And we're gonna go talk to his buddy north of here. So we're gonna fast travel, and we're gonna get all the way. We're gonna go past the last desert route we found, and we'll go to a little town. Maybe do some shopping. We'll come up here and talk to Traven, and this is Laura's buddy, but he's like, I just can't agree with what he's done. You know, like Tavon, that's it. I can't agree with what he's been doing. But I still want to help him out. He's my friend, which I mean that's a good person right there. He's like, I don't agree with him, but he's still my friend, so I'm gonna look out for him. And if you wouldn't mind helping me out, I'd really appreciate it. Go down here and talk to this guy who's really running the show. So using Tavon's key, we'll be able to get in the Skull Cave. And I must apologize for this image right here. These are all the items in here, and there are tons of items in this dungeon. The image quality looked flawless when I pulled it out of Photoshop, but for some reason the quality got degraded. I guess Vegas resized it. I don't know what happened. I played with it for like an hour and I couldn't fix it. So I'm sorry about that. If you pause it, I'm sure you'll be able to make out just about everything. There's fight patterns, there's armor, there's turtles, there's gold, there's healing supplies, there's food. The items are abundant in here. I think there might be one or two rainbow medals in here, so make sure you pick those up. And this is basically just, there's a lot of switches in here. You're going to do the left side, and then you're going to do the right side, and you'll clear out this center path. You'll take this center path up and take the portal down. And then it's almost identical to the puzzle we just did. We're going to have to loop our way around, and we're going to take out this guy to access the other switch. So there's 4 switches you needed to hit down here. That one. You come up north. And you hit a second one. Fight the zombie. The GM food fan. Genetically modified food fan. I think that's funny. I found that really humorous. I don't think a lot of people that are going to play this game are going to get that, especially some of the younger crowd. If you don't know anything about genetically modified foods, they are very bad for your nutrition system. I went to culinary school, and we were taught that genetically modified foods do have the same nutritional value, but what they don't tell you is that essentially you are ingesting a substance that is, I mean, it is bad for you. It has been the DNA structure has been modified, and because of that modification, it reacts poorly with your genes. You don't absorb things the same way. Anyways, getting off the GM food subject, I don't really want to get into that. If you want to learn more about it, learn about Monsanto, big GM company, and I'll teach you more. But anyways, so we get done with that. We've gotten to this dungeon. We fight our boss. There's some treasure down there, and then we're going to talk to Krostot, who is a crustacean monster, and he looks pretty intimidating, but we don't have to fight him. He's like, oh, well, I had this deal with Dolores that if he keeps giving me these honey cakes in return, I'll let him control the monsters. And so we've just busted him. We're like, Dolores wasn't doing anything. He wasn't controlling monsters. It was thanks to this guy and their deal. And Dolores fell out on their deal. Kristot's going to give you a key, and it's going to let you get this door right behind him, which I found kind of odd. I mean, they want you to talk to him first, and north of there is a bunch of treasure. But we're going to head back down here, and we're going to call Dolores out on his BS, so to speak. So there's nothing, yeah. Oh, hey, that's right. When we get down here, we get to play the lottery for the first time, and that's a pretty cool system because you're going to get a lot of really cool items. So check it out, and I would always spend the most. Just a hint. Okay, so we come back down here, and he's like, "Oh, you did talk to him, but whatever. I'm gonna destroy you." Well, I think this match is, if you leveled up properly, and if you've upgraded your equipment, if you've spent time on developing a good system, use the right tactics, this battle should be no problem. So kick his butt. He's gonna complain about it. He's gonna give you the artifact that he's been using because he knows he doesn't need it anymore. And that's about the end of it. One quick note, if you talk to the mayor after this, he'll give you a little item reward. I think he's going to give you a small animal or something like that. And that'll be the end of this video. If you head back up north, we'll find a portal past Traven and take the portal back to Orad. And that's the end of this one. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video. It should be up in a couple days. It shouldn't take as long as it took me to get this one up. Most of the editing, all of the editing is done. I just gotta put the items in and whatnot. So stay tuned, and I promise you that I'm gonna get you through this game as quickly and efficiently as possible. This is No One Left Behind, signing out.